Hello and welcome to the Gooner Tour. Back again with you guys for another show, for another episode of our preview series, showing which we look ahead to the next Arsenal game a couple of days before it is set to take place. And that in itself is in question because if you haven't seen the news already, Liverpool are facing a bit of a COVID crisis at the moment, and there is doubts that the game could indeed go ahead with the situation with some of their goalkeepers and how many they've got left and how many they can field. If there is to be a positive COVID case amongst the goalkeeping group, that could probably be the crux of this issue. But therefore, because of the amount of games ahead of the final and how hard it is to reschedule, should the game be forfeited or rescheduled? It's something that we're going to be talking about with our guests and looking ahead to the game as if it is taking place. And with these preview shows, we do these with the help of our members from the Discord. First of all, I'm joined by Kian. How you doing, mate? Are you good? You well?
Yeah, all good. Thanks for having me on again. Look forward to getting into it.
Where's the Toy Story bedding? It's gone.
Did
you prepare that?
Yeah, I didn't want Owen getting at me again.
I can't promise that still will not happen even with it not there, but fingers crossed. Yeah. We're also joined by Jordan. How you doing, mate? You well?
Yep, all good here. Happy to be here.
Good stuff, man. Good to have you join us once again. And finally, our second South African, after, of course, Ludwig joined us a couple of weeks ago, and his best friend, of course, Sasha. How you doing, mate? You well? You good?
Yeah, I'm good to be back. Fifth appearance. It's been a while.
You can now do that thing on a tally where you put the cross through your appearances. It's a big day. It's a big moment, Sasha. So
should have had a big board at the back.
Big tally board going on. Yeah, love it. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Let's start with obviously the big news about this game is that we could be previewing a fixture which doesn't even happen. Kian, based upon the fact that we could be in this situation, do you think Liverpool should forfeit the game with the consideration that there aren't many weeks, if at all, to be honest, to reschedule this? Or should it be like every other game that's gone so far and just be postponed for another period?
I think it should be played. Let's be honest. Liverpool last year were fielded against a group of young Aston Villa players, and they put out a Salah, they put out a Mane, they put out everyone just to kind of embarrass them a little bit. And if they're willing to put a full squad against that type of Aston Villa side, then they should definitely play this game against us. I know it's a semi-final, but you know what Klopp is like with cups. He doesn't want to win them. He doesn't want to be part of them. So if that's the case, put out a young team, give them experience in a semi-final, and let us win.
I mean, they've got a very weakened side, so it could be a situation where we're playing, literally the Liverpool second string. That's why I was actually quite happy when we got drawn against Liverpool in the semi-final because of the African Cup of Nations going on, meaning there's no Salah, there's no Mane, there's no Naby Keita. But because of this extra situation, they've been really put down to the bare bones. Jordan, where do you kind of sit on that news about possible COVID outbreaks and the possibility this game could be postponed? Where do you sit on it?
Well, I personally feel that right now, the games are building up for everybody, and I feel that at this point, if you can't play your game, then it should be forfeited because, especially with a League Cup game, like league matches, okay, I guess you can move those around, but these League Cup matches in between everything is starting to add up for everybody, and I know it's for our benefit that that it may sound kind
Would you be saying that if it was the other way around?
Yeah, I know. That's why I feel like it's kind of wrong to say it, but. I mean, honestly, at this point, either play it or forfeit. But no, I don't think it's good to reschedule anymore.
Fair enough. Sasha, where are you sitting on the whole reschedule forfeit debate?
Well, I think they should just play the youngsters. I don't think they have a other option because it will look bad if they forfeit. And there's still a second leg. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they have more players back when the second leg's back. Of course, they won't have Salah and Mane, obviously. But the others who have COVID now, maybe they'll have them back in the second leg and they'll still have a chance because it's Anfield. So I don't think they'll forfeit. They're obviously looking for a postponement, but that's not going to work because if you look at the fixtures, then it won't make any sense because when will you actually play this leg then? Because you can't have one leg now and then the other leg in a month's time, or they're gonna have to maybe postpone even the final and then play the second leg when the final's supposed to be. That's not gonna work. So if it was us, I would have just been like so mad at why does our players have COVID? I wouldn't say we should postpone because that wouldn't make sense.
So you would say forfeit if it was Arsenal?
No, I would say play the academy.
I'll play the academy kids. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I do tend to agree. Obviously, the issue with this is that we quickly forget like the goalkeeping position is very difficult to fill, and if there's a number of players in that same position that do have it, we have no confirmation about specific players that don't have it. But this specific one is always going to come down to whether or not you've got enough goalkeepers to fulfill the fixture. Go on, Sasha.
They maybe should play another academy player in goal. Maybe his position is actually goalkeeper.
The under 11s we should go into. Is that what you're saying? We should bring in the under 11s goalkeeper to go between the sticks for Liverpool at Anfield
Yeah.
for their second leg.
Prodigy.
That would be interesting. Let's try and take our mind away now from the idea that this could be postponed. I wanted to cover it just in case, obviously, it was. But let's go ahead with the conversation as if it is going to take place. Kian, it's a League Cup semi-final, which is something, this competition is something that we've really struggled with in the past. And I don't think Arsene Wenger obviously didn't win the competition. We've not won it since, I think, the early 90s. So where do you kind of sit on how high of a priority this competition is for us?
Obviously, it's a huge priority. At the end of the day, trophy's to the trophy. I would love it if Arsenal did end up winning it, but at the same time, main priority for me is top four. Again, it's not a trophy. I'd love a trophy at the end of the season. Top four and the cup would be ideal. But let's be honest, Liverpool is a huge team. It's going to be tough, even if they do play. So we have to just say, like, where are we in the ideal of winning it? Not that high, because there's still Chelsea as well. They're great at defending. And even though they're a bad run of form, they are great on 1-1 cup games. And if it does end up that Spurs beat them, we'll have a North London derby in a final if we end up beating Liverpool. So it's a win-win if we do get that. But right now, it's a bit in the air for me.
Jordan, where do you sit with this competition in regards to kind of our race for the top four? If you knew that playing this game was going to have any kind of impact on qualifying, would it make you be minded to maybe change team selection? Or do you think it's a game up against a very decent side that we should be going as full strength as possible?
Well, for me, this cup is very important just because it's a young team. And I think with a young team, it's important to have them experience winning and see what it's like and get them more motivated to continue, And I also feel that this, as City always do, they use this kind of springboard the rest of the season. So I feel that they should rest certain people, but I also feel that they should respect Liverpool and go on.
I think that you're right in regards to respecting the opponent. I think it's certainly a team that we're going to, that have got their threats no matter how many of their key players are missing. They've still got a very good depth in their team, and that should carry them through to have a competitive fixture. Sasha, the League Cup, where does it rank in your list of priorities for this season? It's something that you want us to see us win. Obviously, we'd love to see us win anything, but how high does it rank in regards to those other competitions?
Well, to be honest, I think we should go all out for it. I mean, we're already in the semi-final, so it's possibly the closest we'll get to a cup, because we don't know what will happen in the FA Cup. We might, in the fourth round, draw City away or Liverpool away, and then we might lose. So I would go for this because the All or Nothing documentary would be so much more awesome when we actually win a trophy. But I won't sacrifice it if it means we don't finish top four. I still think top four is the biggest trophy. But
the trophy, the invisible trophy, yes, that one.
Yeah, but I think League Cup and top four. I don't think we should. If the draw is nice in the FA Cup, we should target that as well. But I think the League Cup, since we're already in the semi-final, and we possibly have an easy semi-final, and then the league, it should be the main focus.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Interestingly, anyone taking the League Cup trophy win over top four? Anyone would take that? No, I didn't think you might. I don't think anyone would. I didn't think. Let us know in the chat box. Anyone brave enough to say they'd take a League Cup trophy over top four right now? Interesting how important that competition is and how important the Champions League qualification is. Let's go into your team selections. So making sure I've got them in the right order. I think we're starting with Sasha first. Oh, we're starting with Sasha? I thought we were starting with Kian first. Let me just double check. Yeah, we are starting with Kian. Go on, Kian. Talk us through your team.
To be honest, the reason Leno's in goal, kind of want to just rest Ramsdale, and another thing is kind of Leno's going to be used for the cup games. Same with FA Cup, just give him that competition in the league, can stick with Ramsdale. Tomiyasu I took out because I think he's after playing so many minutes that he just needs a rest. And if we are playing a young Liverpool side with the likes of Mane and Salah not being there, we can maybe get away with Cedric. Same with Tierney resting with Tavares. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Holding, Gabriel's injured or Gabriel's suspended. I don't really would play him anyway. Holding deserves a bit of game time.
Not tempted to play Murray in there as a left footer?
A little bit, but he's just back from COVID himself, so he might not be fully fit. Just give him some trainings. If he does play, fair enough, but right now we'll see how his recovery is from COVID. Same with Sambi. I know he's recovering, but we're lacking in midfielders at the moment. If Niles is leaving, and Xhaka as well, two of them need to start for me, because if this could be our midfield for a while with Partey gone. Odegaard, Smith Rowe, bring Smith Rowe on because he is our number 10. Odegaard, okay, he's playing very, very good football at the moment, but he needs rest, especially with the game against Tottenham and stuff like that coming up in the league. Martinelli, let's be honest, he can run for days. He wants to play football. Let's get his goal tally up and keep his form. Same with Saka. They're scoring constantly at the moment. And Lacazette, he's linking play very well. Eddie, if there's talks of Eddie leaving, I don't want him playing in the semi-final. That's the way I'm looking at it. So obviously Lacazette could be leaving, but that would leave us with no striker. So that's why Lacazette's there.
Fair enough. Let's move on to Sasha's team. Go for it, mate.
Okay, so I'm going for the first team in this one because I think we should rather play the second team in the FA Cup game. And then I'll probably depending on the scoreline, decide whether to play the first team or the second team in the second leg of the League Cup. But it's important that our players is rested. Our first team players is rested for the Spurs game, because that is the most important one of the four. So for me, I'd still go the same backline. Of course, if Gabriel is suspended for this one, then Holding just comes in. Sambi because Partey is away, of course, and then Eddie because it's his cup, it's his competition, and I think he might be the one to take us to the final. He might even play in the final and win us the whole thing. So for me, this is the lineup. I'd of course just play like I said then in the FA Cup game. Yeah, that's it.
Lastly, then Jordan.
Yeah, for my squad, I changed it up because basically for the Cups is Leno, and I also want to show him respect too, because he is a very solid backup. I could respect him. And then at right back, I could have put Cedric, but I think my favorite player this season actually might be Tomiyasu, just because he's been so consistent and he's just been a huge upgrade on everyone that we have. And then I put Tavares, because I like him as a backup for Tierney, and Tierney can have a little rest. And then going into the midfield, I put Smith Rowe at the 10 because I think Odegaard has been in great form. He's been amazing, but also I think that this is a game that Smith Rowe can also do great too as well. And yeah, same thing as everybody else, but with Eddie, I put him up top just because he's pretty much the League Cup king right now. That the man has been dominating the cup pretty much. So yeah, that's pretty much my reasoning for the squad.
Lovely stuff. Just lastly, going to my team, I've gone pretty much full strength. I would be making wholesale changes for the Forest game. I actually think there's a really good chance that Patino could get a run out in the Forest game on Sunday. I don't see why there isn't the opportunity with obviously Partey and El Neni now at the African Cup of Nations. I think Sambi can play those games back to back because he's been, he's fully rested. He's going to be coming into these games. He's going to need minutes, most importantly, to kind of get into the swing of things. So I would be playing Sambi back to back across these next two fixtures. Smith Rowe, I think, can come in for that Forest game as well, but he can easily come off the bench. I wouldn't mind seeing him start the game. You'd think that Cedric and Murray Cedric, Murray and Chambers could probably be that back four along with Leno and Tavares on Sunday. So I'd keep it the same, keep that back four the same that you'd expect to see in there with the replacement of Holding for Gabriel, and then playing Nketiah at the weekend and start Lacazette in this game tonight. The thing is that we've got an opportunity here to absolutely batter Liverpool with their kind of second string team if they are going to put that out. We could kind of put this to bed in this fixture with the second leg or next Thursday, I think it is. really being an opportunity then to just rest players, because we've got Spurs that weekend, and that's so key, and that's arguably the most important game of the second half of the season, because they are probably our main rivals going for that top 4 position. So we cannot afford to drop points in that game, and we need to try and take all 3, which is not something we've done at Spurs for a very, very long time. So I would be looking to rest and being strategic as feasibly possible. But with these, we'd like to round off the show by, of course, going through predictions. Chat box, this is your time as well to throw your chat box predictions in there, so please do. Kian, we start with you. Prediction, mate.
I hope it's going to be like the last one, the 5-5. We really want a big first game, but if it goes ahead, I'm going to go with a 2-1 Arsenal win. Obviously Minamino is playing well for when he does come on for Arsenal, for Liverpool. But Martinelli and Saka are really in form, so I'm going to go with 2 of them and Minamino scoring for Liverpool.
Jordan.
I think it's going to be 3-0 Arsenal. I feel that.
Yeah, good clarification there.
No, but I think it's going to be 3-0 Arsenal. I'm feeling very confident in the game in itself. Honestly, without Mane and Salah, that already alone is a huge boost for us. And I think a lot of people are out too. I think Firmino's out too for this game.
He is, yeah. Firmino's out. Robertson's out. Robertson's suspended, so he's out. I think I was speaking to someone earlier on that was telling me about all the players that Ben Browning from 101 Great Goals. I was talking to about this, and he said Keita, Origi, Minamino, Matip are all supposedly out. Thiago, Fabinho, Alisson, Salamane are also apparently out. So it's going to be a weak Liverpool team.
Yeah, that alone is already a big boost in itself. And even from when we last played them, we had a great first half with their actual squad. And I feel that now with the weekend squad that we can feel fairly confident, as long as we show our respect to them, like I said, that we can go there and win. Well, have them come here and us win fairly easily.
Sasha.
So I'd be hoping and expecting for something like 6-0 or 7-0. But of course it's Arsenal and it's Liverpool. So...
Do you want me to tell you who's still available, Sasha?
Yeah.
Because it may change your mind. You've got Kelleher, who's obviously going to play in goal. You've got Konate, Joe Gomez, Shimakass, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, Jordan Henderson, Diogo Jota, Adrian, Morton. Then we get into some of the youth players, Balagizi, Harvey Blair, Nico Williams, of course, who can play at right back if they need him to. John Hughes, Beck, Pitaluga, Comentio, James Milner is available still. Kwanzaa and Voltman are all available too. And he didn't mention Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, or Nat Phillips, but apparently he's also injured. So, it could be a very, very strange team that's put out. But Van Dijk and Trent, I think, are still available. I'm pretty sure they are. So, but there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe do you want to change your mind from 7-0?
Do we? No. I'm not saying it's gonna be 7-0. I would say I was hoping it'd be something like that, because we're playing a second string team. Because do we already know which of the players have COVID?
No, we don't, and that's
so maybe
still to be released. Yeah.
Maybe it's someone like Konate and Jota that has COVID or something. Then it's or maybe Klopp doesn't want to play them because I don't know, for some other reason. So, if they put in a weak lineup, I'd be hoping for something like 7 or 6-0, but I think it will be something like 3-1. Even with the weaker lineup. And then if they put a stronger lineup, I actually still think it's going to be 3-1. So I'm going to go with 3-1.
Fair enough. I just saw an interesting tweet put up on my timeline saying Tottenham, with the headline, Tottenham handed Carabao Cup bye as Leyton Orient forfeit tie following positive COVID cases. And this has happened before. Spurs themselves have forfeited the game in the Europa Conference League because of COVID. We know that last season, Leyton Orient, I think it was even maybe this season that Leyton Orient were handed that bye. I'm thinking back. I think it might have been last season, actually. They handed Spurs that bye because of positive COVID cases. It does make you think that we are in a situation where if they can't fulfill the fixture, and there is this difficulty with rearranging. It's ridiculous. It's 2 legs anyway, and that they didn't make it 1 leg in the first place is quite crazy, because you could have just said postponed it for a week's time and done done it in the second legs position. But that's not the case. They're not doing that. But that's ridiculous. Sasha, go on.
But yeah, that's something I want to ask. Can you, in a 2-legged game, forfeit 1 leg, the first leg? Can you do it and then still play the second leg?
I don't think so. I think you'd have to forfeit the entire time, because it would go down as a 3-0. But I mean, it would go down as a 3-0, but you mean what you would get is if that was the case, is teams, say in a competition where like a Premier League side was playing like a conference team across 2 legs, the conference team would just forfeit the first leg because a 3-0 result might be better for them than
Yeah.
an
And
8-0 defeat.
what about if you're 4-0 ahead in the first leg, then you can forfeit the second leg and lose 4-3.
Of course,
I don't
exactly.
think that makes sense. So
you
I
have
don't
to
think you
forfeit the
can.
entire tie.
Yes, you forfeit both games.
You would, yeah. Let's go into the
So
chat
will
box
they
and
do
see the
that?
predictions. I don't know if they will do that, but we're gonna have to wait and see. I imagine it would just be postponed. It would be my prediction if it does get called off. I'd be shocked if there's if a forfeit falls the way of Arsenal's favour. Imagine that kind of luck after what we've experienced. Ruben says 4-1 to the Arsenal. Vinny says 3-0 to the Arsenal. Temi going for an 8-0 win. Sebastian 6-1 Liverpool. I mean, that'd be a turn up for the books considering all the variables. Omar says 2-1 Arsenal. Kirshen says 2-1 Arsenal. Let's go to Dragan, who says 3-1 Arsenal with a late third goal. ML Reaction going for a 4-2 Arsenal. Gary going for a 2-2. Lewis going for 3-0. King says 5-0. Let's smash them. Can't stand Klopp at the moment. Dan Roberts says 4-0 Arsenal. Eddie to score 3. Patino 1 with 4 Ramsdale assists. Jonathan going for a 4-0. Fallout Technology going for a 4-0 as well. GSM saying 3-1 Arsenal. It is at the Emirates against Liverpool's B team. Klopp is also not going to be there. Is a strong thing to point out as well. And Arteta supposedly could be back for the game on Thursday if it does indeed go ahead. He's supposedly out of isolation, which is really good. Glad to have him back. Isaac says 4-0. Chris says 2-1. DMC says 3-0. Martinelli going to score. Johan saying 3-1 there. And Daniel says 216 watching and only 47 likes. Let's get to 100 and Kian will sing You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story if we can get it up to 100. I'm not going to force you to do that, Kian. I think I'll get done for copyright anyway. Ludwig says 5-0. Percy says 2-0. Sophie says 4-3. And Tygonosaurus says 3-0. Lovely stuff. My prediction, Omar, I always forget. I think I said the other day 3. I think I said 3-0 on the Arsenal lounge. So I'm going to go for 3-0 and Martinelli to get a hat trick. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Lovely stuff. Thank you to my guests. Chat box, if you could show them some love in the chat box, I really would appreciate that. Kian, thank you, mate. Tell people where they can find you.
Cheers, thank you. At Reardon_Kian on Twitter or Kian.Reardon008 on Instagram. If you want, get loads of likes and I'll post it on my Instagram. You got a friend in me.
There you go. There's your Toy Story reference. Jordan.
All right, fellas. Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. I enjoyed
Absolutely.
it. And, that's all I do.
Tell people where they can find you if you want to.
On Twitter, at Jordy Henley. And that's pretty much it.
There you go. Lovely stuff. You can also find Keenan Jordan in the Discord server as well. Sasha, thank you so much, mate. As always, tell people they can find you.
You can find me in the Discord server, so join. That's what I would say always. And then I just want to clarify something. I saw Vinny saying, I secretly love Xhaka because I put him in the lineup.
You can't bite to Vinny. Why are you biting?
It's just a big no. So for me personally, the only reason I don't like Xhaka, this is like the only reason. So I'm pretty sure all of us watches the game with pretty much our heart on our sleeves. So we're so invested in the game. Like when we score, it's like you go crazy, and when you concede, you're like But you can always take a loss. When it wasn't, let's say someone else did something great or something like that. But what I cannot take is one of our own players doing something stupid, and that's not one of our players making a mistake. That's one of our players doing something on purpose. And Granit Xhaka has done things on purpose multiple times that ruined my whole day, for example. I don't like Xhaka, and I'll support him, of course, until the end of the season. But when the end of the season comes, I'm going to say again, we should sell Xhaka. We should upgrade on Xhaka. And then if he stays, I'll support him again. But I'm not going to like him. So, yeah, I just want to clarify that.
No, that's fine, mate. I mean, go on, Jordan.
I just think that Xhaka and Luis have that same kind of like this syndrome where they have such great games. And I feel like because like they have such good games, it's a need to be scared because you know it's coming. You know, that moment where like it's like do or die and they're gonna ruin the game. You know, but like it's like so frustrating because he has like consistent eights and then boom, you know, that one game which is ruined everything.
Yeah, that is kind of what you have come to. Well, we come to expect from Granit Xhaka. But yeah, Sasha, look, you can't bite. You got to let Vinny do his thing. And you just got to let him. You know, if you ignore him, he might go away. So that's the only advice I can give you, mate, for that one. Massive love to everybody in the chat box. Thank you so much for joining me. Harry Symeou is live right now doing a transfer chat. If you want to go over to his show and show him some love, tell him that I sent you. And yeah, go check out the channel. And I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for the next show. We'll also be bringing you a dedicated Bruno Guimaraes video tomorrow as well, which I'm looking forward to also. Other than that, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, up the Arsenal.